That is some serious right there, boy.
In almost every corner of the Earth.
He's gonna hit the shot. Watch out.
Every moment of every day.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Cameras are rolling on the most heart-stopping,
Holy
gut-wrenching,
Okay, stay calm, stay calm.
awe-inspiring weather out there.
We don't really know how to react,
Look at that, dude.
so we wind up mesmerized.
You can't pull away.
This is reality TV.
You think you know your weather? Our team breaks down the science behind the storm.
You can see the water flowing into the vortex.
Inside the most shocking viral videos that will blow your mind. Imagine a tornado the width of the Earth, made up of swirling gases as hot as 3.5 million degrees Fahrenheit, traveling at speeds in excess of 180,000 miles per hour. Welcome to weather that is out of this world.
The world of weather in outer space is huge and beautiful, and I suppose in another way devastating as well. It puts the Earth in context.
93 million miles from Earth, these images captured the beauty and fury that is the surface of the sun.
These are strange phenomena called solar tornadoes. They look just like tornadoes. They're not at all the same thing as regular tornadoes.
Unlike tornadoes on Earth, which are powered by differences in wind, moisture, and temperature, solar tornadoes are whipped up by the hot flowing gas and charged magnetic fields of the sun.
The sun is a plasma, and it's made out of charged material. And as this magnetic field is poking out the surface of the sun, it can bring material up with it. And that's what's happening. Really hot, charged materials being dragged up from the sun's surface and being splurged out into the upper atmosphere.
And that rotation gets concentrated like the skater spinning faster, pulling arms inward. You can actually even see the top fanning out a little bit.
What you're seeing in this video is basically a legitimate fire tornado that's about the size of the Earth. It's pretty nuts.
What's interesting is that you see this video of the solar tornado and you think it's some rare event we happen to catch on video. But one study estimated there are up to 11,000 of these happening on the surface of the sun at any given time.
You think about the damage that a tornado can do on the Earth and how small that is in scale compared to this, and the fact that it's also literally as hot as the surface of the sun, that's pretty crazy.
New Year's Eve 2013, NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory captures this incredible footage of solar flares erupting from the surface of the sun.
These kind of videos and pictures like this are the reason I became a solar physicist. In this video, you can see a solar flare.
93 million miles away from us, but we have technology that we can essentially feel like we're standing right there watching something like this happen. Humans are smart.
The sun is composed of hot gases. Electric currents within the sun generate a magnetic field. Solar flares occur when a buildup of magnetic energy on the sun is suddenly released.
These solar flares are thousands, if not millions of times more powerful than an atomic bomb. They look beautiful. We sit there and we're amazed by them, but it does not give you an idea or an understanding of the sheer power.
Solar flares occur with great frequency in cycles of once every 11 years or so. In 2012, one of the largest solar flares ever detected just missed hitting the Earth. If the eruption had occurred a week earlier, the Earth would have been in the direct line of fire.
Based on what we know now, physicists are just now realizing how close we came to getting clobbered by waves of solar energy, a mass ejection of clouds of the sun's plasma that would have crippled satellite communications and the power grid.
What if a solar flare did actually hit the Earth?
A solar flare and the associated material that's fired out from the sun can damage satellites, can overload and it can knock them out. So for us here on Earth, that would be devastating. So much energy can be dumped into the system, it can just melt the cables, blow out all the kind of transistors. It can knock out our electrical system, and if you get hit by a big enough one, it could cause a kind of global blackout.
I think we probably need to work on having better ways to react to them, but there really isn't a great prediction. Solar flares aren't predictable. You don't know how strong they're going to be each time, and you don't know what direction they're going to come out of the sun at. And so all of that makes it nearly impossible to give really good lead time forecasts.
Solar flares can certainly wreak havoc. But are they also responsible for some of the most beautiful light shows on Earth? The breathtaking bands of light, called auroras, are caused by solar flares. As solar flares interact with the Earth's atmosphere, gases are ionized, producing the incredible array of colors.
Different gases will produce a different color. So oxygen produces like a greenish yellow or a red light, whereas nitrogen in the atmosphere can produce a blue light. And depending on what gas is there, we see this beautiful rainbow effect. And it's kind of like the shimmering of a curtain as that energy from the sun interacts with the ionosphere in the atmosphere.
"886 million miles from the sun, these stunning images of a hurricane on Saturn were captured by NASA's Cassini spacecraft.
In this footage, you can see a hurricane at the pole of the planet.
Yeah, this is a gorgeous image. You know, this cool swirl in the way it's like color enhanced. And what you see in that photo is the clouds are color coded by the height.
Scientists are still trying to work out how exactly it's happening on Earth. Hurricanes occur over bodies of water. As far as we know, there aren't any bodies of water on Saturn.
Scientists may not yet know how hurricanes on Saturn are formed, but they do understand just how massive they can be.
Pick a hurricane, put it on the screen, and put it right next to this one. For me, perspective-wise, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, looks like about the size of Katrina. And then you see that 2 Earths can fit in this, and you're like, oh, just kidding.
The hurricane on Saturn has speeds of about 300 miles per hour. One of the fastest hurricanes here on Earth is about 160.
If we had a hurricane on Earth with wind speeds like that, over 300 miles an hour, we're talking about 100 miles of coastline with every building just blown flat to the ground, like basically like a nuke was dropped.
Coming up, a volcano creates a chain reaction of chaos.
There's so many natural disasters that are going on in that shot, it's almost hard to name them all.
And clouds that will simply blow you away. When Weather Gone Viral continues. The world of clouds is not just fluff. From powerful storms to alien-like formations, there are more to clouds than what meets the eye. In 2013, photographer Mike Oblinsky captured incredible footage of an enormous supercell storm near Booker, Texas.
This is one of my favorite videos that I've ever seen. If you want to study a supercell, this is the video to do it on.
So what you're seeing here is a classic representation of a supercell. You get this shelf cloud, that kind of lowered part, the rotating part that looks like the spaceship. On top of that, you have this great long anvil, this huge amount of cloud that had reached the top of where it wasn't buoyant anymore and couldn't rise anymore.
A supercell is the most extreme of all thunderstorms, marked by a sustained rotating updraft and likely to produce extreme weather.
A supercell is capable of producing a tornado. It's capable of producing hail. It's capable of producing a microburst, which would be a situation where you have these outgoing winds that could be 100 miles an hour and cause significant damage. A supercell is kind of the most extreme of the thunderstorms.
One of the things that makes these pictures so unique is it's time-lapsed, and I think that's why so many people got so excited about these, you know, because you get to really see the structure growing and building and the light changing and it coming over you.
You feel this whole thing spiraling, and you understand why weather is so amazing and so exciting and so dynamic. You see all of that happen right in front of you.
There are out-of-this-world clouds that invade from above, and then there are those that creep up from below. A rare sight captured on camera. Mother Nature using one of the world's great geological wonders as a canvas to display her beauty.
This is something that doesn't happen every day. You know, you catch that, it's like lightning in a bottle. And an incredible sight.
It's basically an inversion fog, like your house, where you have your basement is always the coldest room while the attic is always the warmest.
The canyon's a little colder, and you get a little moisture in there, and then that moisture condenses and forms the cloud or the fog.
Fog is basically just a stratus cloud on the ground. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to be inside a cloud, just go outside and fog.
If you have fog rolling in like this, your visibility is 0. And since you're like on a cliff, essentially, I would suggest you stay put until the fog lifts out, because one wrong step and that is it. I mean, this literally is blinding.
By mid-afternoon, the sun did indeed burn off the fog, disappearing almost as quickly as it had arrived. In 2013, the skies over New Zealand's Rangipo Desert took on an extraterrestrial glow in the form of these rare lenticular clouds.
People will see these small, cylindrical, lens-shaped clouds that often look stacked a little bit, and they think they're UFOs. I mean, how could you not?
As the air flows over these mountains, it expands, cools to the dew point, and then we see these layers of clouds form. As different layers of wind come over and are also lifted up, clouds just kind of stack up on top of each other. And that's how you get this pancake-like appearance.
They'll stay until the wind stops, until the wind changes direction, or the moisture changes. Something has to change in the environment around that cloud. And until it changes, the cloud will just stay in one spot. They do look like a saucer coming in, except you need flashing lights for it to be a UFO. If it looks like a cloud, it's probably a cloud.
All clouds are not created equal, and there are few as unique as this massive roll cloud captured by a woman outside her home in Amarillo, Texas.
How awesome is this video? This is an epic version of a roll cloud. One of the most beautiful examples of a roll cloud ever, and probably what meteorology students will look at when the professor says, here's an example of a roll cloud. It just doesn't get better than this. Usually, it's near bodies of water, and it's when two different sea breezes collide to get that kind of rolling motion.
Roll clouds are usually not connected to any other cloud nearby. They're created when downdrafts from thunderstorms cause warm, moist air near the Earth's surface to rise. The moisture then condenses into cloud form. Much like a rolling pin, the winds from the storm roll the cloud parallel to the horizon.
If you probably put yourself in prehistoric times and somebody first seeing that probably thinks it's a sign of some divine being or aliens.
This father and son seemed to have their own alien encounter when their fishing boat was overcome by this ghostly phenomenon.
Here it comes.
Can you name the weather wonder they encountered out on the water? The answer when we come back. Plus, electrifying images from a volcanic eruption.
It's not something that we see every day, and then you factor the lightning on top of it, and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
When Weather Gone Viral continues. This fishing trip became a viral sensation after boaters captured their close encounter out on the water.
This father and son, you know, they're fishing, and all of a sudden they see this big wall coming towards them.
Here it comes.
I'll tell you what, if I'm out on this boat, though, I'm a little bit concerned.
So, do you know what this weather phenomenon is called? Advection fog.
Time of the year was May, so you're having these typically warmer, more moist air masses come over the waters, but unfortunately these waters are still quite cold and a little bit chilly. So as that air immediately above the water surface gets cooled, it cools and condenses and forms this enormous fog bank. This is one of the more spectacular ones I've ever seen.
On to another mesmerizing weather event. While riding a train in Russia, a lucky passenger was able to capture this beautiful footage of what is called a sundog.
It's like two nice little rainbows on the side. Wow, ooh, you got the full halo there too. That's good.
You have a halo and then these little two bright spots on the left and right side of the sun. And they're called sundogs because they, like dogs do, they kind of heel at your sides, and you have two of them at each side of the sun.
Basically what you're seeing here is there are some clouds really high up in the sky, but they're made up of ice crystals and they're really, really thin, so you can't even see them. It's the light refracting through those pieces of ice that's creating that optic effect that you're seeing there.
The ice crystals act as prisms, bending the light rays passing through them. As the crystals sink through the air, they become vertically aligned, refracting the sunlight horizontally, creating the effect of the sundog.
A lot of the viral videos that we see has to do with some kind of damage and destruction or some kind of phenomena that's causing damage or destruction. So once in a while when you get to see just a nice sundog, just, you know, the sunlight getting refracted through some ice crystals in a cool way to make for a pretty picture, that's kind of nice to see.
Now here's something you don't see every day, or even once in a blue moon. It's called a moonbow, or a lunar rainbow. It's a rainbow produced by light reflecting off the surface of the moon. Moonbows are usually seen during or near a full moon, when the moon is at its brightest phase, and within a few hours of sunrise or sunset. Now, what do you get when you turn that rainbow frown upside down? A circumzenithal arc is one of the most colorful members of the halo family. It is caused by the refraction of sunlight through ice crystals. Unlike rainbows, which appear opposite the sun, circumzenithal arcs are seen near the highest point in the sky. Circumzenithal arcs and sundogs are not the only incredible images created when the sun's rays meet ice crystals in clouds. This is a fire rainbow, and it is stunning.
This really is neither fire nor rainbow. It's really cool. It looks like a rainbow, but what's happening is you're getting refraction of light from ice crystals. With the rainbow, you sort of get the similar thing, but you get it through rain droplets. In this case, there are cirrus clouds, very high-level clouds, and the light itself, the sun has to be at a very, very high angle. Everything sort of has to come right into line to get something like this. It's actually pretty rare.
It's weird how it's like between the clouds.
You
You have to be at the right spot. The sun has to be at the right spot. But the show that you get from this, the vibrance of the colors, is just so cool.
Legend has it, there's a pot of gold at the end of every rainbow. But what if the rainbow has no end?
Rainbows as we know them look like bows. But if you get high enough in the sky, a rainbow actually is a full circle. You really kind of need to be in a plane to see the full scale of the rainbow, because most rainbows are interrupted by the horizon, by the Earth. And so a full circle rainbow is just a rainbow that's not interrupted by anything.
Coming up, the Big Freeze hits the world's most famous falls.
So how cold does it have to get? Pretty freaking cold for all that water to freeze.
And what not to do when a waterspout makes landfall. When Weather Gone Viral continues. Volcanoes are among the Earth's most powerful phenomena. And when they erupt, they can do so often without warning and with devastating effects. There are more than 1,000 active volcanoes today, which gives scientists an incredible glimpse into how our world was first shaped.
When you're close to a volcano in person that's erupting, it's something which is very difficult to describe, because you're seeing, for the first time, you're seeing a new Earth being created in front of your very eyes. It gets the adrenaline going, but you don't want to be too close to the really explosive ones.
During a vacation to Papua New Guinea, little did these tourists know that they were about to witness one of the most memorable volcanic eruptions ever to be recorded.
Here we go.
This is, seriously, this is the most incredible volcanic eruption video that I've ever seen.
Here we go.
So if you look very carefully in the video, right on the top of the screen, there's a white cloud that moves up. That means during the volcanic eruption, things have moved faster than the speed of sound. And that means a sonic boom is about to be created.
A sonic boom is created when shock waves travel faster than the speed of sound, which is 768 miles per hour.
Watch out for the shock, it's coming. Holy smoking Toledos.
Watching a little video like this, you've got the beauty of seeing the speed of light.
Here we go.
Versus the speed of sound.
Man.
You'll notice as well that they're looking at a volcano that's very close to the water. That water in itself adds extra gas and extra material to help explode and fragment the rocks. It's called a phreatomagmatic or hydrovolcanic eruption.
Here we go.
It may well be that the volcano just suddenly ingested a bit more water and went boom and coughed its way out.
After this stunning explosion, the volcano continued to erupt for several days. Fortunately, no one was injured. "3,000 miles north, in 2013, Japan's Sakurajima volcano shocked the world with a blast that triggered this incredible display of lightning.
Usually you see lightning when there's thunderstorms. You have to have the electric charges, and you don't see it all the time with volcanoes. This is something very rare.
In a typical thunderstorm, the lightning is created by super cool raindrops and ice particles in the sky. In this case, the lightning is actually produced by the dust and the ash.
Rocks and small pieces of dust and ash and heat, all these things work together to form lightning, because these particles, as they come out, are charged, and if they're not charged already, they're banging together with such strength that they're actually separating their charges, and after the collision, one will become positive and one will become negative, and suddenly there's a big enough difference there that you will have a lightning strike.
Sakurajima continues to be one of the world's most active volcanoes, erupting more than 1,000 times a year. In fact, with the magma chamber beneath the mountain estimated to be 90% full, experts predict that a very large explosion could happen at any time. What's scarier than a volcanic eruption combined with lightning? How about a volcanic eruption that triggers a chain reaction of wild weather? That's what happened in 2013 when Indonesia's Sinabung volcano erupted.
There's so many natural disasters that are going on in that shot, it's almost hard to name them all. Whatever comes out of that blast is also inducing an avalanche.
The pyroclastic material that's coming barreling down the side of the volcano is heating the ground and then essentially creating these swirling masses.
The difference between what you're seeing in this clip and a real tornado is that a real tornado forms from the top down. But this forms from the bottom up, from the hot air rising off the lava flow. So it's more like a dust devil, but instead of dust, it's molten rock.
The idea of being right there at this moment in time when this type of pyroclastic flow occurs and these kind of fire devils arise is terrifying. When you blink your eyes and it's there. There's no running or escaping this. It's game over.
There are approximately 1,500 potentially active volcanoes on Earth and thousands of volcanoes beneath the ocean. Can you guess where the biggest known volcano is? While there are enormous volcanoes here on Earth, the largest known volcano is on Mars. Its name is Olympus Mons, and it measures a whopping 374 miles wide and 16 miles high. The largest volcano on Earth? That would be Tamu Massif, located under the Pacific Ocean. It covers an area of about 120,000 square miles, roughly the size of New Mexico, and nearly as large as Olympus Mons. The Pacific is home to more volcanoes than anywhere on Earth. Recently, scientists made history when a remotely operated underwater vehicle recorded the deepest erupting volcano ever discovered, a mile below the surface of the sea.
This footage is from the West Mata volcano, which is discovered recently in the Pacific Ocean. You imagine putting yourself 3,000–4,000 feet beneath the sea surface. It's a dark world. Nothing's going to be going on. It's going to be really quite oppressive, and yet this thing is dynamically firing little fireworks into the sea.
Underwater eruptions are caused by the same phenomenon that causes above-ground eruptions. You have tectonic plates that are moving over one another, causing great amounts of friction and force, melting the Earth's crust and forcing it upward.
The West Mata volcano produces an extremely hot type of lava called bonanite, seen before only on extinct volcanoes more than 1 million years old.
You can see steam in the video, or white steamy material, because the water's coming into contact with magma, which might be 1,000 degrees centigrade.
It is fascinating to see this concept of like fire and ice, or the elements kind of contrasting one another. I mean, it's not something that you see every day, where you see water and fire.
Coming up. Tornadoes you have to see to believe.
I've seen a lot of tornadoes, storm chasing, but nothing quite like this.
Plus, a visit to the coldest town on Earth.
Minus 51, minus 52 Celsius, which is like minus 61 Fahrenheit. This is crazy cold.
When Weather Gone Viral continues. You've seen tornadoes wreak havoc across the nation, but you've never seen anything like these funnels of fury. At this cattle ranch in Australia, a brush fire burns for several days, creating an amazing phenomenon that's earned the nickname Firenado, a rapidly spinning vortex of fire.
It almost looks like the gates of hell opening up.
Fire tornadoes form when intense heat from wildfires combines with turbulent winds to form whirling eddies of air. The result is a vortex that sucks surrounding flames and ash skyward.
If it's just right, if you get one of these little hotspot pockets coinciding with one of those little wind shear areas, you can form up one of these fire tornadoes.
The cool thing about this is it's sort of like this double whammy of wind and fire. I mean, this is just amazing stuff.
Firenadoes are not restricted to the outback, or to dry land for that matter. Here's what happened after lightning struck a Jim Beam warehouse in Kentucky. The ensuing fire causes nearly 800,000 gallons of bourbon to spill into the nearby retaining pond. And that's when the seemingly impossible happens, swirling fire on top of water.
You need just the right situation for that to develop. First of all, on a lake, so that not everything else is catching fire around it. You need alcohol on the lake just to have that fuel to keep the fire going, because it's fire and water. These things don't go together. And then you need the right conditions to twirl up the fire into a tornado. Everything about that meteorologically doesn't make sense and doesn't seem real.
The fire was eventually put out, but not before the bourbon contaminated the adjoining waters, killing nearly all the fish in a nearby creek. Jim Beam paid the state nearly $27,000 to compensate for the cleanup.
Here we are at Carolina Beach.
When tornadoes and water meet, danger can come in many forms. Like this 2011 waterspout that took form a half-mile off the coast of North Carolina.
Now it's a good bit more massive.
That is a strong waterspout.
I love footage like this really graphic, up-close look at the vortex. You can really see the circulation.
A waterspout is basically just a tornado over water. Once it comes on land, then we call it a tornado, but there's no difference. What's awesome about this video is it's so close. You don't get this kind of view very often.
It appears to be getting closer, a lot closer. At this point, we may need to leave.
What you see out there are a lot of people just still sitting on the beach, and they're kind of admiring it.
Oh my God, look at those people like right there. Are those umbrellas? No, those are people. Oh my God, are they crazy?
Looks like it's breaking up right now.
There's this perception that these water spouts are not dangerous. They stay out over the water, they're not a concern. But they can move onto the beach, and they can absolutely put you and your family in extreme danger. When they finally start running, it's almost too late. They're running and trying to pick up all their stuff and get their kids off of sand.
Oh, yeah.
You see like debris getting ripped apart, and you see that those striations of sand that are now within the swirl, and how close these people are when they're shooting it. You're like, man, this is a strong tornado. These people are very close.
Wow.
He's not listening.
It's going that way.
She's like, are you for real? Like, get in.
You don't know which way it's gonna turn.
It's going that way.
The correct thing to do is to get away from windows and take cover. That sort of whirlwind on the ground, it's not like this perfectly defined circle, and if it doesn't touch you, you're okay.
There goes our chairs.
Fortunately, the couple on the balcony avoid a direct hit. The tornado quickly dissipates, causing no injuries and minimal damage. Thanks to the Sci-Fi Channel, the world is now quite familiar with another kind of terrifying NATO, the Sharknado. Okay, those sharks themselves have never rained from the sky. Throughout history, there have been reports of frogs and fish falling from high above.
There's a lifting that goes on near that tornado cone. So it can lift anything. If it's over a lake, it can lift the water. If there are fish in the lake or some frogs, it can lift the fish out of the water. The tornado could be going on in through here, but the frogs and fish can be coming out through the anvil rain. It's pretty awesome.
But if you want to see a Sharknado, you'll just have to wait for the next sequel.
Sharks have been around for how long? They've avoided tornadoes and waterspouts for a good bit of time, too. And they'll probably continue to do that.
Coming up, who or what is behind these mysterious snow sculptures? Stay up with the latest on all our shows and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Niagara Falls, one of the most photographed natural wonders on Earth. And it takes one of the most frigid winters on record to transform these falls into something almost unrecognizable.
Some aspects, this is about as good as it gets winter weather-wise.
To capture something as massive as Niagara Falls and to see it mostly frozen over, that's cold, and that captures cold for everyone to see.
For the month of February 2015, the average temperature at the falls is a brutal 11 degrees, roughly 15 degrees colder than average, and cold enough to turn these raging waters into walls of ice.
We had the coldest February on record across the Niagara Falls region, and so the ice sculptures that were built, this impact was just fantastic on an exceptionally grand scale.
In the coldest winters, Niagara Falls sees slabs of ice as thick as 50 feet and frozen mist that envelops everything it touches.
Although it looks like it's completely frozen over, it's just all of that mist that is freezing week after week after week at the base of the falls. All of that water coming over the falls in cold conditions builds up an ice bridge at the base of the falls, so all the rocks are covered by ice. The falls doesn't turn off completely. There's still water coming over that.
It's pretty awesome just looking at the power of how cold this winter has been and how long it's been cold to have that much water freeze across the falls.
Just how much of the falls can freeze over?
Niagara Falls will never completely freeze over. But there's just too much water and too much force and too much going on to freeze it.
There have been suggestions that the falls may have frozen over back about a century ago. And in fact, there were photographs of people walking across the brink of the falls. Although it looks like it's completely frozen over, more likely it was what we refer to as an ice bridge that formed over that. There's still water that was coming underneath that ice bridge over the falls, albeit a much less volume.
It doesn't matter how cold those temperatures get, you're not going to freeze Niagara Falls.
Sometimes all it takes to capture winter's beauty is to be at the right place at the right time, like the North Dakota man who stumbled upon this weather wonder.
This is an ice disk, and this is in the Cheyenne River, and you can see, if you look very carefully at this, a very, very slow rotation in that disk.
This is the first one I've seen at this scale. This looks like it's pretty large in diameter, so it is very odd to see this.
At that point of the river, you probably have an eddy or a whirlpool that is occurring there, and it is rotating very, very slowly. That ice is getting caught in that rotation and just being circulated around. It just reinforces the fact that Mother Nature is the best sculptor or artist in the world.
Sometimes, winter weather produces something so unusual that it almost defies explanation, like these rare snow rollers discovered on a stretch of Ohio countryside.
They look like they're like rolled up, almost like bales of hay across the field.
You'll get a little piece of snow that is sitting there, and the wind will come up and it will push that snow, and as it does, that little piece of snow tumbles, and as it tumbles, it picks up more and more snow, and it literally develops into almost kind of like a coil.
Eventually, they can get so large and heavy that the wind can no longer propel them, in which case you're just left with that snowball sitting in the middle of an open field.
Now, to a place where extreme winter weather is a way of life. These men live in the Siberian village of Oymyakon, the coldest permanently inhabited town in the world, with a population of 500.
Oh, this is cold. Yeah, 50. Minus 50.
Okay, this is crazy cold. You know, minus 51, minus 52 Celsius, which is like minus 61 Fahrenheit.
Can you please breathe in the camera that we see how cold it is? Yes, yes.
You just have basically cold air, which is dense and thick, and you actually don't have a lot of snow or ice fall in temperatures that cold. You know, even your breath, as you breathe out, the moisture from your lungs can condense out as frost or as little snow or ice particles. That's how dry that air is out there and how cold it is.
Yes. Night is cold out.
With an average winter temperature of minus 58 Fahrenheit, breathing can often become difficult, and locals must take special care to avoid hypothermia and frostbite.
Your flesh can freeze in a matter of seconds out here.
From supercells to out-of-this-world clouds, the world of weather is forever changing.
Holy smoke and Toledo's.
You can cover weather for years and years and years, and you're constantly learning. And you're constantly wowed and amazed.
Weather can surprise us, it can thrill us, and perhaps most importantly, it can shed light on some of life's greatest mysteries.